A couple questions for Dominick. Obviously, Dominick, you've already achieved so much in your career, doing the things you've done and proving people wrong again and again, coming back off injuries and doing the amazing things. But where does this fight rank in terms of your legacy, considering what you've had to go through to get back here and knowing what Henry represents as obviously two-division champion, Olympic gold medalist, all these things he's achieved? Where does this fight rank for you in your career?
Well, I mean, it ranks up there as another history-making fight for me, but I really look at this a lot different than belts and all the things that we have. It's more about how you can make a difference in these times when you have a platform. So I look at this as a time where I can make a huge difference. Like, what's the value of champions belts or Olympic gold medals when there's 33 million Americans that just filed for unemployment benefits? They can't feed their families since mid-March. 2,417 Americans died in the United States. There's no vaccine for COVID-19 coming, and probably no end in sight. So I've been in the question of what's the value of belts or even Olympic gold medals unless we can use it to make a difference in the lives and the service of humanity, essentially, really. The leader that made a difference for me in this way is Muhammad Ali. He was willing to give up the belt, possibly go to prison for 5 years to stand for what he saw as world peace. So that put me in the question of what's my purpose and all of my accomplishments here. And realistically, it's to make a difference and stand for everybody who thinks that they're not a champion and let them know that regardless of what everybody says, regardless of what everybody's credentials are, none of that matters if you believe and if you want it and you have a bigger purpose than yourself, just what you have, and just holding up your belts to everybody and saying, I'm better than you because I have this thing. How about every single person out there gets to be that if they choose it, whenever they want. And I'm going to stand for that after a 3-year layoff again, when everybody says ring rust exists and it actually doesn't. It's all in your head.
Well, to that point, Dominick, my last question will be that you've proven it time and time again how you've been able to come back from these injuries and look good and look great in these fights. What is it do you feel like separates you from other guys? Because it is true, we have seen guys struggle off layoffs and time off and things like that. How have you been able to do that multiple times?
Well, I mean, it's about making sure that you prepare yourself the right way. I live this life to train. So like when this is all said and done, I'm going to be in this kind of shape still. I enjoy training. It's like a livelihood for me. It's just how I like to live my life, is in shape, feeling good, and training hard. And really, transformation is a public event, so I'm constantly trying to transform in my life. And this is the place to do it, is on a stage in front of, the first sports event to ever happen. This is the stage where transformation happens. Every athlete on this card is putting themselves in a vulnerable position where they can be beaten or win. And what's the point? What's the pleasure in winning if there's no thought of losing? So all this comes together to create, a lot of fire, and I'm excited for it.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Well, you better sign for unemployment checks. I'm taking your ass out.
Yeah, cool story, Henry.
Dominique. You know I'm the real deal. You know I'm coming. You ain't getting past 3 rounds.
Yeah, okay. You're short. I know that. And I know you're going to have a hard time finding me, little man.
And you're going to remember that. You're going to remember that, princess.
Okay. We'll see, man. When you're in there missing, you're going to find out real quick the difference and the amount of rounds I got in there over you. I got hours in there over you, little man. You're a wrestler.
Okay,
I'm about to prove that and expose you real quick.
You just try not to break it now, princess. You just make sure to make it on May 9th.
Yeah, you coming off of shoulder surgery too, smart guy. So how are you any more tough than me? You're just coming back from surgery after a year. Have you ever done that? Nope. I've done it several times and I've proved it.
I'm a flyweight champion. I'm the bantamweight champion of the world, and I am the greatest combat athlete of all time. That's why.
We'll see about that. Yeah, well, there you go, flaunting your credentials again, but none of those mean anything, because how do you make a difference for anybody but yourself? Hey, I had the belt for 10 years. I have the most records in this
you only
division.
fought 2 times in 10 years, Dominic.
I fought many times in 10 years, and you know what? I have more title fights than you as well. So remember that too. All you got to do is look at the numbers, Henry. You're catching up still, bro.
Well,
you could win 3 more title fights and still be catching up to me.
Well, you prove it to me, Princess, on May 9th, because on May 9th, like I said before, I'm serving gold.
I don't have anything to prove. I'm just going to beat it out of you. You're going to embarrass yourself trying to fight me.
I hope so, Princess. That's just that last time against Cody.
Yeah, Cody's not you, is he? I have no power in the past. I have power right here, right now.
I'm another animal on top of that, Dominic. I'm a whole nother beast. You know
what happened with you? What happened with you and Benavidez? What happened with you, Demetrius Johnson? You lost to both of them. I haven't lost to either of them.
That was 4 years ago. That was 4 years ago, Dominic.
You lost.
That was 4 years ago.
It was 3 years ago I lost. So there you go. Here you go. If you want to talk about past, there you go for you. I got some proof and why I'm going to smash you.
Guess what? I came back and I beat one of the greatest of all time as Demetrius.
And I'm about to come back and smash just a little turd who thinks he's better than he is. You're a 25er and I'm going to prove it.
You can try, Princess. You could try. Try not to break it now, Dominic.
We heard that already. You keep saying the same thing, nerd.
Exactly. Because you're brittle and you break everything.
Did you just come off of the surgery? Does that make you brittle? You're an idiot. Listen to yourself.
I'm strong. I'm cock strong.
Lauren, we can move on to the next question.
Our next question comes from Kevin.
I love you, Dominic.
Hey guys, thank you for that. Tough act to follow. My question would be for Dominic. The first thing, Dominic, obviously the Dillashaw fight was a huge win for you in your career, and I know it was an emotional victory. If you were to win this title on Saturday night, do you think it would surpass it, given that you've gone through this a second time? Would it surpass the significance of your win over TJ?
I think the win over TJ will be more because TJ Dillashaw is a true bantamweight, and Henry's still a 25er. So realistically, this isn't going to be as tough as a fight as TJ. I know that.
The physical accomplishment of getting your body back and doing everything that you've done, having had to do it a second or a third time, will that add to it at all? Though, even if you don't respect Henry the same way you respected TJ, the fact that you're getting your body back to, that kind of level, will that have any added significance?
Well, I never said I didn't respect Henry. I said that it was going to be not as tough as a fight as it was against a true bantamweight in TJ Dillashaw. So don't twist my words, please. I do respect what Henry's done as a yeah, you did. I do respect what Henry's done as a martial artist. You can't take that away. But I do believe that TJ is a true 135er and that Henry is a true 125er, and he'll go back down to his division after I beat him.
And, after you had your fight with Cody, you gave one of the most amazing speeches I thought that I've ever heard an athlete give in the UFC, especially after a defeat. And I wonder, was that when you look back on it, is that kind of the emotions you're feeling right now as you talked about, giving back, and you talked about how many people have lost their jobs? Is that sort of the same emotion that you're feeling as you felt then after that Cody fight, in terms of the way you approached that speech and the way you try to approach this fight?
Yeah, 100%. In that time, everybody in their life has lost something. And I think that was, as a fighter, as a champion who hadn't lost in so long, to be in that vulnerable position and to be able to, just take full responsibility. I think it's bigger than me just making a bunch of excuses. It's about how can you, come up with something to give to the world with the platform that we have, to actually say something that matters rather than just basically vomiting on the mic. I mean, this is a platform we have. A lot of people listen to us. A lot of people like to hear what we have to say. And I think it's important that we use the platform for a bigger purpose. And that's what this is going to create.
Dominic, you should try out for Miss Universe. You sound like Miss Universe.
That's what this fight represents. It represents something bigger than just me.
All across the world, Princess.
Like I said,
and then, Dom, if I could...
Go ahead.
Dom, if I could just follow up with one other question then. I know when an athlete loses, when you guys lose a fight, you want to get back and get in there and kind of get it. You've had to sit there with that loss for 3 years and haven't had the ability to get back and, not avenge it against Cody, but just beat somebody else. Has that gnawed at you? Has that been difficult to deal with? That, the last time you were coming back, you were coming off victories. This time you have that, that red L sitting on your record for 3 years. Is that tough to deal with mentally?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't really look at it that way. I look at it as the past. Like, how many times have you made a bad article that you weren't happy with? I'm sure many, and it wasn't perfect. But do you sit and look at that bad article every day when you try to do this interview with me, or do you move on into the present moment and try to ask the best questions you can now? That's what I'm doing. I'm focused on the now, where my power is at, and I'm in very good shape. I feel like money right now. I'm heavy, I'm strong, I'm fast, and I'm lean, and I'm ready to go. So that's what I'm focused on. You don't focus on past stuff. There's no control there. What's the point of that?